and like really like kind of unique, elite, premium, then people would, I think, then that would be great, because you have a lot of data. You see, I mean, you guys can track what keywords people are looking up, not just what they're buying, but you guys can certainly know everything that people are looking for. But if there's a way to differentiate it, then even going to the premium side, even being able to get premium pricing, like being able to get better pricing with certain manufacturers because you're vetted and you've paid more. That would be interesting. Like if I knew that I'd pay I'd pay $100,000 if I knew that I could, get my products for $2 cheaper with a manufacturer that is really responsive and good and honest and all that.
Yes.
So, I mean, that goes to a lot of the premium features. I think and so I think that's. I mean, I would before we. It's the overarching issue I think with Alibaba, and it's even with Amazon. It's everywhere. Is that there's just too much access to too many people from a seller's point of view. Now, I'm happy there was, because it allowed me to start in it.
Yeah.
But now that I'm in it, I don't want it.
Yes.
Right? So it feels like a flea market. Flea market, it feels like you're at a you know what a flea market is, like a swap meet,
跳蚤市场.
Yeah, like it feels like this is like lots of just stuff, and like it's some good quality, some poor quality.
Right, yeah.
Everyone can go look at it. I don't really trust it. I don't trust the site. When I go and see like you have these banners of 8 years or gold banner or whatever it is, like I don't trust that at all. No, not in the least bit, because I've talked to those manufacturers and like they're not that great, or and I know that there are a lot of people on, like there's a lot of these training programs that help people like sell online in the US, and there are some of the more like some of the old ones will tell you go to the ones with the high, like these gold star ratings, but there are some that actually tell you like look for manufacturers that don't have the badge and that have only been there that say they've only been around for a year. Don't go to the ones that say they've been around 12 years, have a gold badge, have a platinum badge, because first off, no one trusts that means anything. They believe it's that the supplier paid $1 or $100 without whatever it is to get the badge. 12 years means time just means they already have tons of customers. They don't really care necessarily about a new customer. They might be selling stuff that's been, that's like commodity products. It's not.
Got it.
So it doesn't necessarily instill like any level of like, premium. So I think when I did this, I've been through this whole, like an interview process with the Open Sky people and your whoever the head of Alibaba.com. I don't remember his name.
Yeah. It's a Chinese guy wearing glasses.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was great. He was awesome. Yeah, we had a really nice time. We had lunch together, but he, I was telling him that there has to be some sort of like premium, like access to premium suppliers. If you pay a certain amount, access to premium, premium content. Otherwise it kind of starts feeling like what ends up happening is you have the more Alibaba then becomes the place where new people go,
Right.
and more skilled or advanced people will go to global sources, or hire, like what I'm doing now. I just hired a sourcer, and in China, and he like now goes and talks that and he skips. I mean, he might go to Alibaba too, also, but he goes to Alibaba. You have isn't there like an Alibaba for China, like a Chinese version?
Yes.
So he'll go to that one, which has slightly different manufacturers on it, or he'll go directly to his network and get me, and get pricing. It costs me some money, right? I have to pay someone where this was free, but if I can find the one supplier that's not on Alibaba, but like that he's vetted and gives me good pricing and is really responsive, then I'll pay him, I'll pay the sourcer for that, and equally I would do the same for Alibaba. Like if Alibaba could give me like a dedicated sourcer, that was not just was working with only me and a few others. Sorry, hold on. This is Ross. Yes, how are you? Yes, yeah, I mean, yeah, because I don't think we'll have the the necessary credentials for the other one in time. I'm actually in a meeting right now, though. Is there anything that I can just tell you quickly? Okay, yeah, I'll do it maybe this afternoon. Is there? Would you mind sending me like an? Is it just 800, or should I talk to you? Is there a way to get in touch with you? Just because you know. Is there a way you could? Would you mind? Is there a way you could just email me that really quickly? I'm sorry, I'm just in a meeting out of, and I don't really have that. That would be really awesome. So it's just ross@rohigo.com would be great. Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay. Sorry.
It's okay. Really helpful suggestions. We got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's move on. How about this part?
Insta. For me, not useful. I don't need because I don't. I'm taking like I'm differentiating myself by changing the products.
Yeah.
So these are just base products.
Yes.
So these are commodity. Now there probably are people that are interested in like, let me see if people buy it. So they buy, they go and buy 20 units or five pieces, and then this is more like what's the other, your AliExpress. Right? And that's more like, it's like, so that's how a lot of people use AliExpress to go and like test the market. They get buy kind of 10 or 100 or 50 slightly unbranded versions, and then sell it, see if people buy it. If they do, then they say, okay, now I'm going to go and actually make a bigger order and brand it. So that's just how people test. But I mean, that's not for me.
Yeah.
Cause anything that's in stock, like I don't want to sell anything in stock, because anything that's in stock means there's a lot of competition.
Yes.
Yeah.
But in another way, in stock means you can get the product quickly. I don't know what time means. What's the time? The deliver time or the production time means to you?
Well, I mean, it doesn't mean anything to me if it can't be different. Like, I mean, there's a lot of people who, I mean, and this is just me. I don't want to sell products that everybody can have the exact same one. So I don't want that. Mine are always branded, and they've all been tweaked in one way, in one shape or form. Some more significantly, some less so. But sometimes it's just around aesthetics or like packaging or instructions. Sometimes it's more significant tooling changes. But and I know there are a lot of people who want to have 100 products, and that's just not the way I do it. It's not that's not fun for me. So I don't do that. But some people do.
Yes, that's not your business style.
Yeah, it's not my business style.
Yeah.
But for some people.
Yeah, it's very clear about this part, and I want to move on. Want to talk to you more about the procurement. First, how often does you or your business make a purchase? How often?
I mean, with existing suppliers, it's probably every. It depends. The longer I'm selling a product, and if I'm going to keep selling it, I order probably less often but more units. But if it's newer, I order more often, less units, just because until I know that I don't want to order a big thing and then find out that no one's going to buy it. So make a big purchase and find out no one buys it. So for the ones that are selling really well, probably 4 orders a year.
Oh.
3 to 4 orders a year. Maybe 4 orders a year. And the ones that I'm less convinced about would be 5 to 6 orders a year. Just holding stock for like maybe 2 months worth. Something like 2 to 3 months, and then some I'll just order once. I'll sell it, and I'll decide for selling it that it's not a product I want to keep selling. It's too competitive.
Yeah.
Too many people. It's just showed up on your hot selling section, and it's too competitive. So
Yeah.
I'll just stop selling it.
Yeah. So about the newer ones,
and then totally new. Yeah, I mean, my business is changing just because I'm focusing on some other stuff, not just Amazon, Amazon products. But for that, it'd probably be, I'll look to source kind of 2 to 3 new products a year. That's kind of what I would hope to do.
Cool. How many units you purchase each time?
Depends on the price point of the product. So I mean, if it's a really expensive product, it could be 300 units if it's a couple $100 to make 1 unit. But if it's between generally it all depends. I mean, I think the purchase price for a new one is typically around, I would say I between $20,000 to $40,000 of inventory.
Oh.
So that will depend, and that'll just depend on how if it's a $500 product, then it's then it's only 100 units. If it's or 80 units. If it's $30, if it costs me $10, then I might order 2,000. But I tend to a new product. I tend to start with, if it's like if it costs me between $10 and $30, I'll order 1,000 to 1,500 units to start.
So the order value, the value of your order nearly the same.
Yeah, I mean generally, I mean it can change. I mean it might be between 10 and 40,000, but I think on average it's probably 20 to 30,000 for the initial order.
Yeah, got it. So I'm.
But I mean, but that's where I am now. Like when I started, it was my first order was $1,500.
Cool.
So and it's slowly going up.
Yeah, cool. So what's the total purchase value of your business last year? The total value in dollar?
300,000, something like that. Probably 300,000, 400,000, something like that.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, between 200 and 300,000. I think that's probably for last year. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. I know you have found some suppliers in Alibaba. How do you do the transaction, do the business with them? How do you pay them on Alibaba or outside Alibaba?
Some on Alibaba, some off of Alibaba. So it just depends.
Depends on what.
Yeah, part of it. Sometimes the suppliers. One of the suppliers just doesn't transact through Alibaba.
Oh.